you get spirit possession. You know, you get something comes over you that you can't really control, but you know that it enables you to do whatever you're doing better. You know, if what you're doing is jumping up and shouting, it's gonna make you do that better. If what you're doing is playing the sax, that's gonna make you play the sax better. Because you got it. It's something that's being channeled through you, and you don't really have no control over it. And so you might surprise yourself and do things you never thought you might could do. That kind of thing doesn't happen a lot. It doesn't happen all the time on the bandstand, but it happens more in church because that's what they come there to do.
Rhythm and Blues for Robert Williams in Exile, 1962. The cymbals hang limply in the street. A forest of objects, motives, black steaming Christ, meat, wood, and cars, flesh, light, and stars scream each new dawn for whatever leaves push from gentle lips. Fire shouted from the loins of history, immense dream of each silence grown to punctuation against the gray flowers of the world. I live against them and hear them and move the way they move. Hanged against the night, so many leaves not even moving. The women scream tunes and give the nights a dignity. For his heels dragged in the brush, for his lips dry as brown wood, as the simple motion of flesh whipping the air. Give you now to love me if I spare what flesh of yours is left, if I see past what I feel and call music simply art and will not take it to its logical end. For the death by hanging, for the death by the hooded political murderer, for the old man dead in his tired factory election machine, shine quietly his fraudulent faith, for the well that marks the burned stores, for the deadly idiot of compromise who shrieks compassion and bids me love my neighbor, even against the meaning of such act that would give all my father's dead ash to fertilize their bilious land. Such actors would give me legend. This is the man who spared us, saved us from the disappearance of the 16th note, the destruction of the scale. This is the man who, against the black pits of despairing genius, cried, "Save the popular song." For them who pat me in the huddle and do not argue at the plays, for them who finish second and are happy they are Chinese and need not run those 13 blocks, I am not moved. I will not move to save them. There is no melody, only the foot stomp, the roaring harmonies of need, the hand banged on the table, waved in the air, the teeth pushed against the lip, the face and fingers sweating. Let me alone! Is praise enough for these musicians?
I'm just going to make sure that my music just grows in personnel. You know, I think that it needs to be bigger. Whatever I'm doing now, I just want it to be bigger and get more people, 60 people, next time 100 people, next time 200 people, because I hear enough music to write for that many people without it being redundant. You know, I think I have a creative enough compositional sense to write for 200 people. Now, how are we gonna get into the Flower Salmon? We're gonna vamp with the baritone here, the line boom. And then the rhythm section, you know, come in. You know, Steve would play like a single kind of stroke, ting, 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 and Fred would play boom, 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 boom. Okay, so that'll go on for about baritone to do it for 8 bars, and the rhythm to do it for 8 bars, and then we in the head, right? Well, baritone for maybe 4, and then bring the rhythm section in. And the rhythm section could go indefinitely until you want to bring them in.
It'd be nice if you played. If I leave them out there for a long time, it'd be nice if you played some.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I bring the band.
Okay, we could try that.
Yeah. We could try. But real loose, like.
Yeah, that would loosen it up for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure you will.
Right.
to sing his song, that love and peace and joy divine would rid the hate in people's minds. The man was here, then came and gone. He left us here to sing his song, that love and peace and joy divine would rid the hate in people's minds.
Whenever he played his saxophone, the blues came out like black folk songs.
Like what?
Black folk songs.
Okay.
The coos and doos of jazz preludes will finally make it cool for you. And then you repeat the first verse again, and that would be,
that's slick.
That'll be it.
That's slick.
But you know, I mean, it ain't like you know, Eddie Jefferson. You know, he wanted to do some lyrics for it. You know, we was talking in 10 Palace. I guess that was around 77 or something. But we never really hooked up to do it. You know, and then next thing you know, he got killed. So
Coos and doos. What's happening?
well, like, you know, the coos and doos of jazz preludes will finally make it cool for you. That's like, you know, what it means to actually be a, you know, like a jazz musician in the 60s playing the saxophone and playing it in a way that's like contrary to what everybody else was doing,
right.
you know, and being a front runner. I mean, Milford told me that he's seen Albert crack a wall one time over there on the over there on the Bowery, in a, you know, in a building, you know. So
With his sound?
With his sound.
Yeah.
So I mean, to be playing that strong, coming out of somebody who's playing, that's a whole other thing, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that's one of the strongest lines in the piece, you know. I like to think so.
Yeah.
You know, and the dues, you know, we know the dues. I mean, the fact that he ended up being either murdered or killed or whatever, however he died, being found in the river, that was probably part of paying the dues. Had he have lived through that, that would have been just another step in the dues that a normal jazz musician has to pay, you know, just to be himself in this society.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, he, you know, to have the integrity to go on and continue through that, you know, is, you know, that's something.
Sure. So, flowers for Albert.
I think maybe the first time I played with Albert was in 1966 at the Black Arts Theater. Yeah, I think that was the first time I played with Albert. I was always told that, as a matter of fact, I heard Albert one time play in 1965, and it was about a 15-piece orchestra. And he, you know, he was playing an alto, and you can hear Albert over the rest of this band. Everybody told me that Albert was a very strong player, you know, before this. In 1967, or either 1968, we played at Slugs. Prior to that, I played a concert, Buffalo with Albert, played Newport with Albert, and I learned something about Albert that I didn't know. And this is getting back to something we was talking about earlier, about someone thinking that they can play with you before actually doing it. In other words, they listen to you on record or see you at a concert, and they think they have you sized up.